Sack Life, Beat Depression, is day 720, and we're back for another somatic healing session to wipe out depression. Thank you so much, everybody, for being here now. Everybody who's tuning in later, appreciate you guys and girls out there. As you know, it's Martial Arts for Mental Health show, focusing in on gratitude first, one of those powerful mental health tools, and the more we use it, the easier it becomes to find things to be grateful for. So today, I'm grateful to still be alive. Going through COVID, if you guys have been following the journey. I thought I was going to be waking up today to full health, 100% recovery, because last night I had a nice break from the symptoms and I was feeling great, did some shadow boxing before bed, was feeling amazing for like a few hours, and I thought today I'm going to be great, I'm going to be 100%. But I was wrong. I woke up today, killer headache, crazy muscle aches, chills, skin sensitivity, easily fatigued. So I'm clearly not out of the woods yet, but I'm grateful to still be here. I'm also grateful that we have each other for support. I'm grateful that we've built this community that shows up for one another. I want to shout out to Osaka and for being the first one in, and to Lance and the Trance. Thank you as well for being here. Appreciate you out there for supporting the cause. As I was saying, we're talking about gratitude. Focusing on those things to be grateful for is a great way to put yourself in more of a positive mindset. Shout out as well to Braces Can Be Scary. I think that's Claire. Thanks, Claire, for tuning in. Hope you're feeling well out there. Where were we? I'm grateful for you, Claire. Grateful for the support of everybody who's been tuning in. Hi, I am Claire. I am a superhero, Claire. Oh, that's great. Yeah, I know. You are quite the superhero. For those who don't know Claire, she's 5 years old, coming out of Canada, fighting forwards through chemo as an inspiration out here to others that we can make progress no matter what. And you're inspiring me, Claire, too, to keep fighting right now, going through COVID, punching through it. Shout out as well to Lisa the Luminary and Amanda Lindsay. Thank you all for being here. Claire said Luca made me a picture. Yep, I got the picture. Love it. It's great. Thank you guys so much for that support. So we talked about the gratitude tool. Also grateful for, let's see if I can pull this off. Maybe I can help myself out here. Today's show is not brought to you by Tylenol in the defense against COVID. It's not enough, but it's better than nothing. Thanks, Tylenol. What do you think? Think we'll get a sponsorship? Maybe send us some free Tylenol. Help me through this mess. If not, oh well. It's all good. I'll buy my own Tylenol. But go ahead and think about the other things that you're grateful for today. That'll help put you in that positive mindset as we move into the lesson. And then we're talking about the second mental health tool, progress tracking. Keeping track of the number of days you show up for yourself. Slowly builds into more self-confidence, self-esteem, self-validation, and it can affect the rest of your life. It's not just about what we can do in here in the 30 minutes or 10 minutes of exercise that we're getting done together, but it's also about what we can build up that's sustainable for the rest of our life. That confidence translates over, that self-validation translates over into every aspect, and it really can make a difference. This number, I can tell you for a fact, helps me get out of bed. It's also been 720 days since I've had any thoughts of suicidal ideation, so there's 0 days of suicidal ideation, 0 days debilitated by depression in the last 720 days after making this a consistent routine. Claire said, Dr. Sam's not here today. Well, when you see him, tell him hi. We like that guy. Dr. Sam's a great dude. He sounds like a great dude, at least. Maybe I'll meet him one day. That being said, we talked about the number tool. So make sure you're keeping track of the days you show up, you put in that work, fight forward. And remember that is proof of your endurance. It's proof of your strength. It's confirmation that you can. And it's also what you can look forward to in the future. Right? I know that I can crush 720 days of progress in the face of anything that's slowing me down, including COVID now, right? That's challenges show us what we're capable of, and COVID's showing me, yeah, it's rough, but I can still find a way forward. So I'm just going to moderate that intensity, make sure I give myself a challenge. That's what it's all about, giving yourself a challenge so that you can grow, and that challenge can be different every day. No expectations, no anticipation, just tune into you, tune into here and now, dial in that intensity, and give yourself that challenge so you can grow. We don't want to push too hard because then we wind up overreaching, can wind up with more anxiety, more depression. We don't want to go too light because then it winds up being boring. All it's boredom, you won't want to do it. But we want to find that flow zone in between anxiety of overworking and the boredom of underworking. And that's the space where we can make a whole bunch of progress and really look forward to making progress each and every day. It's been 328 days for Ken out there. Congratulations, Ken, on that progress. That's a whole lot of days as well. You should be proud of that number. And Bray says, can't be scary. Claire said, I'll go watch Paw Patrol now. Bye. I hope you feel better, because then you will feel better, and that is good. That is good. And I hope you enjoy your show, Claire. I'll catch you later. So long. Thank you for stopping in, and thank you for the support. So we talked about the number. We talked about gratitude. Oh, man. And now let's get into the lesson. As usual, we're going to visualize that opponent. One of the things that makes this good for mental health and helps us remember how powerful we are, how strong we are, is to consciously acknowledge what we're doing every single day, which is fighting off those debilitating effects of depression or anxiety. So we want to consciously acknowledge that by assigning the word depression or anxiety to that visualized target, to that dummy. So you can visualize a form of a man or a woman if you'd like, and assign it that name, the depression dummy. When we throw our punches, we're going to turn them over and land on target, on the nose, on the chin, tucking the thumb under the top two fingers, turning that wrist, right, keep it nice and straight, and land it on those large two knuckles. Pop, pop, down that center line. Now, yesterday we talked about the teep kick, the push kick, and we talked about a couple different places where you can use it. Today we're going to talk about defense against the teep kick. So what do you do if your opponent is teeping you? So we're going to visualize that depression dummy, tossing teeps, right? Tossing that teep kick our way. And I'm going to show you guys a couple different ways to defend it. So if you've been here before and we practice parrying together, you know from that we use an open palm, right, semi-open palm, and you kind of swat the punches away. And when we talked about parrying in the past, we swat those punches. We always toss the punch to the outside. And what that means is if I'm punching in like this towards the face of my opponent and you swat my hand this way, it's going to set me up to just punch you with the other hand. But if you swat my hand this way, now I'm exposed. I have no weapons on this side that I can toss your way, and you can clearly take out my head or go for some good back kicks or side kicks. Hit the knee, hit the leg. So we always want to parry to the outside, and we can use that parry same way when a teep is coming in. So when we've got that teep coming in towards center mass, that's where most people are going to use it. They're going to send it right down that center line, boom, towards the center mass. What we want to do is swipe down, boom, swipe that arm down. So you're going to have to be a little faster, right? You're going to swing that parry hand down, catch the kick, and push it off to the side. Now, a lot of people will parry with just the arms and then fire back, boom, 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 boom. But some of the problems with that is you do leave yourself open when you drop that guard, right? You do leave yourself open for a counterattack because you're dropping that guard on this side. So one thing that I've thought through in theory, right, because I'm not competing out there, but one thing I've thought through in theory is if we use rotation and we twist into kind of a bladed stance, we can actually bring the guard up through the shoulder just like we're going into Philly shell. And this should be more effective because we're narrowing the target. We're also twisting through the body. We're preloading a nice counter shot, and we can use the shoulder and the chin tuck to be fully guarded and fully defended when we parry. That way, maybe you miss, maybe you miss, but that foot is still going to have a narrower target to hit. So we're going to practice that. We're going to practice twisting through the body, boom, on the ball of each foot, twisting through and tossing that arm down to parry that push kick out of the way. Now, when it's coming from the lead leg on this side, I want to push it out of the way, right, and expose the outside like we talked about before, the outside of that person. Summer Finance, thanks for being here. Appreciate you. When it's coming from the rear leg, we're going to use the opposite arm. So rear teep, front teep, boom, rear teep, front teep, boom. So whenever that teep's coming in towards center mass, if it's coming in from this leg, right, I'm going to push it this way, exposing the outside. If it's coming in from the rear leg, I'm going to push it the opposite way, again, exposing the outside. So those are 2 defenses, right? The parry, the parry. It's going to happen the same way with the opposite arm. Now you can do it the more traditional route of just swatting it down, or you can try it with the twist. Boom, boom. For me personally, I like twisting through because I can feel that rotation feeding the next moves, really setting up the counter. And we'll talk about that counter too. And then there's one more way that we can defend against that push kick, and that's with a catch. There's lots of ways, but there's one more that we'll cover today in this class. So that's with a catch. So from our defensive stance, what we're going to have to do is that kick's coming in, and you might take it, you might eat the kick, but you're going to take them off balance, and it'll put you in a dominant position where you can strike back with some good counters. So what we want to do is, see that teep kick's coming in, right towards center mass. We want to drop the top hand, swing this one down, boom, and trap it. So from here, boom, boom, just like that. We're going to swing this one down, grabbing the bottom of the foot, holding it tight, and this one's going to come down and grab the top of the foot, and we're going to pull it and hold it tight against our body, flat against our body. So you might eat that kick, but what's going to happen is when your body goes backwards, now you're holding on to something to regain your balance, and you're pulling your opponent by their leg off of their balance. So you're putting them in a bad position where they're going to have some time to recover, and you'll be able to counter really well. So once you trap that kick, right, that teep kick's coming in, we're going to trap it. You're going to have to visualize here. Boom, one hand goes above the foot and pulls tight against the body. The other hand cups bottom of the heel, pulls it against the body. And we'll move back a little bit. From here, we can counter by tossing that foot, and we can do it in either direction. Whichever foot landed, we want to toss it so that, again, the outside of that body is exposed. So we can toss it this way, we can toss it that way, and really take them off of their balance. So they're out there hopping on one leg, that leg's exposed, you're going to toss it, boom, it's going to throw them off their balance, and then you can come in, bop, 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 and get them back with some counters. So those are the defenses against teeps we're going to cover today, and we'll break it down in a 3-round session. I am going to be dialing my intensity down because, as you know, I've been dealing with COVID now for a while. It's the 3rd day. It's the muscle aches, the headache is pretty bad. I think the Tylenol is starting to kick in, so it should be all right to dial the intensity up just a little bit, but overall it's going to be fairly low. We'll have the music coming in from our sweet retro synth 80s boombox with that 80s fighting spirit to fuel us out here as we go. And shout out to Mad with Hats, shout out to DJ Sean Fitz. You guys missed the breakdown on the technical defense against teeps, but I'll cover it as we go. It'll be fine. All right, we'll drill some fundamentals in there as well. We'll toss some jabs and crosses. We'll work those counters. And today, we'll practice that self-defense against teeps. Remember to think about the thing that you're grateful for today. And J20 down the pub. I'm going airsoft in the morning up early. I don't know what J20 down the pub means. But airsoft sounds like fun. Maybe I'll join you one day. We'll see where the travels take me. If you're dipping out, I do appreciate the stop in. I do appreciate the moment because time is all we have. So thank you for being here. Thank you for your support. Man. Alright. Let's do this thing. Woo! Once my timer gets started here, we're going to get right into it. But in the meantime, let's talk about that defense. We talked about parries, right? Our usual parry, knocking that hand out to the outside. This time, we're parrying straight down, all the way through, boom, and swiping that teep kick out of the way. Shout out to Luca. Still getting it. Ooh, God bless you. Thank you. Appreciate that, Mad with Hats. And Luca said, hi, has to be quiet. Oh, you can do this quiet, man. Just don't yell hi-ya on those strikes, and you'll make it through. Glad to see you, though, buddy. Thank you for being here. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in and for supporting the cause. Ooh, we're going to get through this. We're going to make progress, right? No matter what. Just challenge yourself to you. Don't push too hard. Don't take it too easy. Let's find that sweet spot in between where we can make progress no matter what. Here we go. Starting standard round. Square up into your Muay Thai stance. Right? Guard nice and high. We're going to start with some jabs and crosses. Pop, pop. Right down that center line. Chin tucked. Exhale through the mouth, inhale through the nose. Toss those fists. Turn them over, bump, bump, and visualize that opponent in front of you. Pop, pop, two to the head. Twist through, tucking the chin into the shoulder. Guard nice and high. Close those fists, remember tuck the thumbs. Keep the wrist straight. And drill them, let's go. Step in, 1, 2. Turn that fist over, wrist nice and straight. Twist through the body, exaggerate that body movement. And back to stance. Now, let's toss a few teeps of our own, right? Teep, boom. Lead teep, rear teep. Boom. Back to stance. Nice and easy. Go at your pace. Trying here. Jab, cross. Back to stance. Guard high. Jab, cross. Back to stance. Now we're going to start working on that teep defense. So we know what our lead teep looks like, right? Let's fire a lead teep right there, driving with the ball of foot towards center mass. So now we're going to visualize that opponent tossing a lead teep at us. And we're going to visualize it coming in from southpaw stance, right? So when they've got the ball of the foot towards our chest, they're firing that teep off. We're going to hit it and push it to the outside, exposing the outside of their body, setting them up for a nice counter. The way we're going to do that is with that lead teep, with that lead parry coming down, just like we parry the hands. That teep's coming in, we're going to swat it down with the hand, boom, and push it out of the way. Once it's out of the way, their outside is exposed, right? We just knocked their foot out, outside's exposed. We can roll through with a cross to the head. We can come in with our own side kick, whatever you'd like there. Square up, hit him with your own teep. Boom, there he is. Now that teep's coming back at you. What we're going to do is swat it out of the way. Now you can swat with just the arm, or you can try twisting through the hips and the ball of foot and making yourself a narrower target. Also bring that shoulder up, Philly style, Philly shell style. Keep the guard high on this side. Now two things that happen here is we add defense with the shoulder, and also we're preloaded for that counter, right? So once we knock that foot out of the way, they're off balance, their outside's exposed. We're gonna roll through on that back foot, whoosh, and drive that fist forwards for a nice counter cross. Back to stance, square up, toss the teep, boom. Back to stance, toss the teep, boom. Now defend against the teep, parry, boom, and counter. Bang, back to stance, defend against that teep, parry, counter, bang, back to stance. Keep it square, keep it balanced. You can lean back just a little bit, but don't go over that back foot. Guard against that teep, parry, and counter, whoosh, boom, and that's the end of round 1. Catch your breath, drink some water. Check in on you, make sure you're not pushing too hard. Right leg, right hand, equals first punch. Peak tear, well, right leg, right hand. What you want to do is make sure you push them to the outside. The thing that's going to differ is whether your opponent's orthodox or they're southpaw, right? Because if they're orthodox or southpaw, their lead teep might be coming from this side, or it might be coming from, if they're southpaw, from this side. Boom. So whatever it is, you want to scoop it to the outside so that you can counter. When it's coming from the opposite side, you can use the opposite hand. So would it be right hand, right side? I think it'd be the opposite. I think it would be my right hand hits their left leg. No, it's going to be based on whether they're southpaw or orthodox. So you got to visualize that teep coming in, right? Boom. And then tossing it to the outside so you expose their outside. That's the goal. Whichever side that teep's coming in from, we want to swat it out of the way. And our goal is, boom, to get ourselves out of the way as well. So if you're using just the hands, right? Push them to the outside. The legs coming in from this side, we're going to push it to the outside and expose the outside of their body, make them defenseless. And we can counter back, boom, with that cross. Let's practice some more teep counters. So we're going to counter that lead teep, visualizing, let's see, visualizing a southpaw opponent. I think this will match up. Visualizing that southpaw opponent, tossing the lead teep, boom. We're going to counter that lead teep, right? Yeah, we're going to counter that lead teep. Man, that's confusing when you spin it around. Just visualize that teep coming in, boom, and toss it to the outside. So for the first one, we're going to visualize that teep coming in, and we're going to toss it to the outside, exposing their outside. When we work with the lead hand and we push it to the outside, it's real easy to preload that cross. Bang. When we work with the tail hand for the opposite side teep coming in, we're gonna twist through again, parrying down, pushing that leg to the outside. It's now exposing all their weak points, and we can counter with that lead jab. Just twisting through with a nice preloaded lead jab. So counter that first teep, boom, and then raise that shoulder, right, for extra defense. We're gonna pivot on that rear foot and drive that cross in for a nice powerful counter. Back to stance. Counter that rear teep now. Boom. Swatting that hand down, knocking it to the outside, exposing the outside of their body, and twist through for the counter cross. Back to stance. Counter lead teep, and hit him with the cross. Counter the rear teep, and hit him with the cross. Back to stance. Toss some teeps of your own. Lead teep, rear teep, lead teep, rear teep, lead teep, rear teep, lead teep, rear teep, and back to stance. Let's counter some teeps. Counter that lead. Twist through, right? Swatting it out of the way, pushing it off, exposing their weak side, exposing that outside of the body, and twist through for the counter. Back to stance. Counter that rear teep. Boom. Swat it down and twist through for the counter jab. Back to stance. Counter the lead. You can speed it up if you want. Counter the rear. Counter the lead. Counter the rear. Counter the lead. Counter the rear. Counter the lead. Ooh, that was wrong. You can do that. Counter that lead. Bam. Counter with the cross. It'll be nice and powerful. Ooh, that's the end of round 2. Catch your breath. Drink some water. Check it on you. Make sure you're not pushing too hard. I gotta do the same thing. Oh, man. I think I went a little too hard that time. Pete Tear, thank you for being here as well. Whoa. COVID is no joke out here. Hoy. Alright, so for the final round, we're going to talk about the catch we talked about earlier. So for the catch, what we want to do is we're scooping under the heel. We're dropping that lead hand down to grab above the foot. We're pulling that foot in tight against our chest, pressing that foot against the chest. And we're going to eat the kick a little bit, but we're going to let ourselves move back. What we're doing is pulling that opponent off balance, pulling them by that lead teep. Boom. We're going to pull them off balance, put them in a dangerous position, and then we're going to toss that leg away. Boom. And come back, firing some jabs and crosses. Square up with that opponent, hit him with the lead teep. Bah. Boom. Hit him with the rear teep. Bah. Back to stance, give him the 1-2. Back to stance, 1-2. Back to stance. Now, visualize that teep coming in, right towards center mass. And what we're going to do is quickly trap. Boom. We're going to swing this hand down. Boom. Grabbing the heel, underneath the heel. Grab the top of the foot here and pull it against the chest. Once we do this, we're going to back up. Boom. That's going to pull them off balance. And then we want to toss it, whichever foot it is. If it's this foot, boom, we're going to toss it to the outside, right? Exposing the outside. If it's the opposite foot that came in, we're going to toss it to the outside, the opposite side. That way it exposes all those weak points they can't defend. Back to stance. Visualize that teep coming in and grab it. Get them with the catch. Boom, right there. Pull it against the body. Step back to pull them off balance. Now we're tossing it. Push, shove to the outside. Twist back for a counter. Roll through for one more counter. Square up and back to stance. Toss your own teep. Boom. Visualize that teep coming in from the opponent and catch it. Boom. Swing that arm around, grabbing the bottom of the heel, drop the top of the foot, pull against the chest, pull them back, toss them, and then step in, jab cross, back to stance. Square up, hit them with the 1-2, pop, pop. Visualize that teep coming in, catch it, bam, pull them back, toss it, and then step in, bum, bum, bum. Hit them with a little combo, knock them out. Back to stance, hit them with your only teep. Rear teep. Back to stance. Now go back to those parries. Let's work those parries. Lead teeps coming in, parry, counter. Rear teeps coming in, parry, counter. Lead teep, parry, counter. Rear teep, parry, counter. Remember, rotate on the body. If you want to make it more narrow, preload that cross. You can also raise the shoulder up to defend the head while you're executing. Boom, get out of the way. Back to stance, parry that lead teep. Parry, counter that rear teep. Parry, counter, lead teep. Parry, counter, rear teep. Lead teep. Counter, rear. And catch, get back to that catch. Teep's coming in. Catch it, pull it back, toss it, and ba, ba, ba. Back to stance, square up. Hit him with the 1-2, bum, bum. 1, 2, 3, bum, bum, bum. Lead teep, rear teep. Back to stance, parry the lead. Counter, counter right after that parry. Rear, parry the rear, counter. Back to stance, parry the lead. Counter, parry the rear. And that is the end of our 3 rounds of progress and success for today. Oh my gosh. I think the Tylenol's helping out. But it's still pretty rough. Super fatigued out here. Dealing with a lot of muscle pains and holy cow. Well, I definitely challenged myself to my level today. I hope that you guys challenge yourselves to yours. We crushed it. We got that daily goal accomplishment. So remember to give yourself credit. Where's my numbers? I lost my numbers. How's that? There they are. Remember to keep track and give yourself credit for the number of days that you show up for you and you put in that work and make that progress, because they will build up over time and they do translate over into every aspect of life. So keep going, and until next time, I'll catch you same exact time, same exact channel, same exact life. Sack man out. Holy